Hey team, how are we going? Okay, let me just share this and then I can properly give all my full attention and talk. But please say hi as you jump on. Let me know if you're watching the replay. I'd love to see who's watching along today. And I'm really, really excited to talk about this today. It's been something I've been thinking about a lot recently. Let me just quickly share this. Hey, lovely Esther. Nice to see you jumping on, hun. Okay. Let me just share. Okay, today I want to talk about staying in your own lane. And the reason I want to talk about this is because so often we don't do it. So often we move out of our lane, we move out of our work, and we try and we slip into fear. And what we do when you're trying to create something that you want, when you're trying to bring something into your reality, when we're in fear, we don't trust, we don't believe. When we're in fear, instead of staying in our own lane, staying in alignment with our vision, staying focused on what we want to create, when we move into fear, we leave all that behind and we suddenly move into a space of trying to control. And this is something so many people do, and it's normal human behavior. When we're in fear, we want to try and control things, we want to try and control other people, and we want to try and control our behavior in order to get a result. Okay, I'll give you some examples. Say right now, you're wanting to attract in your soulmate, you're wanting to have that amazing, incredible relationship. When you know that it's done, when you know that you are going to be able to have that incredible partner who's going to adore you, who's going to love you, you know it's done, you believe it's done, and you just go and you live your life, right? You just live your life, you do whatever feels good. You walk and you go into what feels good, and you walk away from what feels bad. When you know that you can have the kind of relationship that you want, that you desire, that deep connection you're really looking for, being fully you, when someone comes into your experience who is not that person, who doesn't respect you, who doesn't like you, who doesn't want what you want, you don't stay there and go, okay, I'm just going to stay here and engage in this. When something comes into your experience and you know is what you don't want, when you know it's done, no part of you holds space for that. No part of you tries to convince it to be the right person. No part of you tries to change yourself and change your behavior. Because when you know you can have what you want, and something in front of you isn't what you want, you don't feel afraid to walk away from it. That's what it looks like to stay in your own lane. But what often happens, especially when it comes to love, is when in our life we aren't experiencing what we want to do, we suddenly assume, oh, this isn't working out how I want it to be. We ask ourselves, who do I need to be to make this work? What do I need to be like to make that person like me? What do I need to be like to attract in the man of my dreams? That stuff has nothing to do with you. That stuff is fear. Whenever we're asking ourselves the question of what do I have to be to get what I want, we are out of alignment with having what we want. Cool? If you're asking yourself, what do I need to do to get this? You're pushing it away. And the reason I say that is because everything is normal and natural for you to experience. You're meant to have incredible love. You're meant to have this amazing relationship with a man that you really, really care about and who really cares about you, or a woman, whatever you're looking for. You're meant to have that. You're coded to have that. You're programmed to have that. You're allowed to have that. But we cannot get what we want when we're in a space of manipulation and force. We can't. The only reason we try and change our behavior, we try and figure it out, because what we do is when something is in our life that we don't want to see, it's so often we say, well, should I act differently? Like, what should I say? And this is what I see a lot of relationship coaches talking about. If a man's not there, well, this is how you should behave. Well, this is what you should do, right? This is what you should do to be good enough. And this is the thing. The only reason that you doing those things sometimes works and sometimes gets you the result is because you believe you're doing the right thing to attract a man. But what if instead of doing this, instead of searching, instead of looking at trying to change yourself to be someone else, what if instead of doing everything from the perspective of who I am isn't good enough, me being me isn't good enough, you came back and you sat firmly in your lane? And the reason this is so close to my heart is because you can build a whole life up. You can build all the stuff you want out of being someone who isn't you. You can attract a man being someone you're not. You can run a business doing something you hate. You can create anything you want not being yourself. But it will never, ever, ever, ever fulfill you and satisfy you as much as you being you and having everything you want by being you. By the way, hi Helen, hey Jessica, so nice to see you jump on. Won't tell me everyone who's on, so feel free to say hi if you're watching this. Because this is the thing. We're not here on this planet, we're not put here to try and figure out how to get other people to like us. You know, we're not here to be with every person we think we should be with. We're not here to work with every client we think we should work with. And when we're in that space, though, of feeling as though we need that person to be with us, when we feel as though we need that client to like our work, we're in a really, really tricky position. It's like finding the best recipe for perfect cake rather than trusting your cake is great, bake, and you don't need to find me. That's exactly, Esther. You just summed it up for me. You summed it up for me. The life that you want to create, the life that you truly want, is going to come from being yourself and being authentic and liking yourself and trusting yourself. Always. Always, always, always. It's like if you, just like I said, if you follow someone else's recipe to make a cake, cool, it might taste good. It might taste good for the first day, okay? You follow someone else's recipe, you make this cake. It's going to taste good for the first day. It's going to taste really, really nice. The next day, it'll taste okay, not quite as good as the first day. And within a few days, that cake is going to be freaking stale. It's not going to hit the spot. And that's exactly what happens. If you follow someone else's recipe, if you follow someone else's instructions, well, this is how you have to do to get love. It's going to feel really good for the first day. You're going to be like, this is going to work. This is awesome. I'm good enough. I'm worthy. You might even get great results for the first day. Yes, this is awesome. Someone's validating me. It's awesome. I love it. The next day, you're still going to be acting this way you've been told to act. And it's going to feel a bit like, yay, it's still kind of good. Like, yeah, it's new and it's exciting, but it feels a bit uncomfortable. Like, it's not really me. And a few days on, you're going to feel like, what the fuck? Like, I've got to be this kind of person to get what I want. This is bullshit. Like, screw this. When you follow someone else's recipe, when you be someone that you're not, it is not sustainable. You're going to end up with stale cake. You're going to end up frustrated. You're going to end up resenting. And you're going to end up building a life which isn't what you want. Which isn't what you want. But this is the thing. The reason that so many people do that, I would say most people build a life that isn't what they want. Most people look outside and say, well, who do I need to be like? What do I need to do? How can I get this? How can I sort this out? The reason that we do that is because we don't feel like our lane is good enough. We don't feel like being who we are and being true to ourselves and following who we are is good enough. I'm just going to actually look up my video, just so I can see the comments. Often when I share it into my group, I can't fully see all the comments in my group. So I'm just going to have a look, because right now it's saying there's more comments than I can see. Hopefully I actually shared it into my group, by the way. Maybe it didn't. I don't know why it's saying that. It's telling me there's more comments than there are. Anyway, when we follow someone else's recipe, when we aren't being ourselves, it's never ever going to work. Ever. Momentarily, sure. For a day, because we think it's going to work, sure. But over time, we're going to sabotage it. It's never going to work. And the reason we do it, like I said before, is because we think our lane's not good enough. What we'd rather do, I can relate to this was me in the past, is we'd rather get rejected by being someone that we're not. Right? We'd rather go out and put ourselves out there as someone that we're not, just so that if someone said, oh, that's not good enough, or I don't like you, we can be like, oh, well, it wasn't me anyway. Like, I was pretending to be that person. That's not me. So we'd rather be someone we're not, just in case we're rejected because it's safer, rather than be our true self and get rejected. However, when you're in your lane, when you're clear on who you are, when you're focused on what you want, right, you will create it. You will always create what you believe that you can have. You will always create what you're willing to hold space for. That's what you'll create, what you're willing to hold space for. And so you can go and be someone else and create that, but that's fluffy. That's not real, right? If you believe that you can have love if you text your man the right way, and you sent him the right few texts, and then he responds really well, and you believe, well, I'm going to text him the right way and get love, what's your next step? Cool, you started dating this guy. How are you going to keep him around? If you believe the only reason you got this person in the first place is because you text him right, what's your next step? Right? That's not real. It's not grounded. It's like when we try and manipulate, right? Oh, if I go and act this way and he likes me, yes, I've got him. Yes. That's not real because we don't actually feel like we're good enough. When we feel, and this is why often I think we can, in business, we can slip into the pattern because so many people tell you, if you want clients, you've got to do the right sales page, you've got to say the right thing, and you've got to do this. And so many women, so many beautiful women and men are running around feeling like they're not good enough, feeling like they're not worthy, feeling like they're mucking up, feeling like their natural expression isn't good enough, feeling as though the offers that they want to sell aren't good enough because they're not following somebody's rules. And that's absolutely bullshit. I promise you, what you're called to offer is what you're meant to be offering. The things that keep you up at night, the things that excite you, the things that you want to share with the world are enough. Who you're meant to be is enough. Always, always, always. Now, if you've been being yourself and it hasn't been working, let me just be clear with you guys. If you're being yourself and nothing's working in your love life or in your business, it's not because you're being yourself and you need to change. Okay? It's not because of that. It's not, right? Who you are is enough. But the reason that you being you isn't working is because a part of you doesn't believe it's safe to be yourself. A part of you doesn't believe that you can have love fully by being you. And I'll give you a bit of an experience with this, okay? With myself. So I had a really good relationship with myself in 2016. I'd got to a really good space. And I knew I deserved love. I knew it was normal for men to love me and want to be around me. And I attracted this man who was lovely. And like we started seeing each other and it was really good. Now, I knew it was normal for me to have love. I felt really good about myself. But there was one thing, one limiting belief that was still really, really active. And that was, I didn't really believe that I could be fully loved and adored being completely myself. Like I was still myself, but I was thought, I don't really know if a guy is really going to love me when I talk about spirituality and manifestation and when I'm just talking about creating reality. And so I had all these amazing beliefs. I felt so good about attracting that man. But I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. Like part of me was like, oh, I'll just like hide that bit for a while and hopefully he'll like me and hopefully it will work, right? And so we started seeing each other and everything was going really well. And about a month and a half into our relationship, we had a discussion about Reiki, right? And in that, when we were talking, he mentioned some person at his work or something, doing something to his knee, which had injured. And I said to him, and I was like, yeah, well, that's Reiki. I can actually do Reiki. And he turned to me and said, that's weird. Like, that's so odd. That's so weird. Right? And in that moment, I was like, ah! Right? Because I believed that me being me wasn't enough. Like, I believed that that stuff is a bit weird. And so he projected that back. Well, that's weird. That's different. And the thing is, I'd held on to that belief for a while. I'd activated that belief for a while. I really, really believed that me being me would turn someone off. And I was getting a visual representation right then. Here we go, you're being you and someone's going, oh, that's weird, right? And in that moment, I had two options. I could either own it. I'm weird. Something's wrong with me. I'm never going to be loved for who I am. And I could stay in that relationship and I could play out this pattern of me not being good enough and saying, well, I don't deserve this because someone's loving me. So I could have asked myself, who do I need to be to keep this person around? Who do I need to be to keep his interest? Who do I need to be so he validates me? Because I know I want love and I've got it here. And so if I just keep being who I need to be to get love, it's going to stay around. I could have decided that. Or I could have said to myself, the person I'm going to be with is going to accept all of me because I choose to accept all of me. I choose to love all of me. I choose to value all of me. And I choose to walk away and find someone who's perfect for me. They were my two options, right? And so often we're not in our own lane. When we're in a situation where someone's not quite right, when someone's doing something to us that doesn't feel good, when some person is in our experience, loving the love hearts by the way, when someone's in our experience and they're treating us in a way that doesn't feel good, often we're in the space of forgetting that we're creating our reality. We're in the space of, oh, I can't do anything. Oh no, this person's giving me more than I want. What's wrong with me? And we own it. What's wrong with me? Awesome, I love your response, Janae. Right. We say, well, what's wrong with me? This is what I'm getting, right? What's wrong with me? So instead of focusing on what we want, instead of focusing on what we're choosing and loving ourselves and believing ourselves, the littlest action of someone questioning us or rejecting us or doubting us makes us go, oh, what's wrong with me? And reject ourselves more. And then we end up in these relationships where we feel not good enough, we feel unworthy, and we feel all over the place, relying on someone else to love us. Relying on someone's validation. Half the time they're not even validating us, and we're in this whole cycle of pain, right? However, when we're in our own lane, when we're clear that we can have what we want, when we can be loved for being us, that we deserve it, when we're worth it, when someone else shows us a clear sign of disrespect or I don't like you, I don't feel like you're good enough, we don't make it about us. We don't go, oh, what's wrong with me? Oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. We pause and we go, this is interesting. What am I creating though? What am I choosing to have? I choose to be in a relationship where someone respects me. And so we stand up for ourselves and go, that's not weird, this is just who I am. If that person then goes, oh, well, you're weird, blah, blah, blah. If we're in our own lane and we can have what we want, and someone is pushing against us and showing us, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't, you're not good enough. When we know deep inside that we can have what we want, we don't sit there and fight for it. We don't sit there and go, oh shit, who do I need to be to make you what I want? We respond in the knowing that we can have what we want. We say, that's really interesting that you want to reject me right now, or you don't think that I'm good enough. This is just showing me that this isn't really the right relationship for me, or this isn't really right for me. And so after that happened, when we had that conversation, in that moment, that day, as soon as we'd had that conversation, I remember I left his house and I thought to myself, well, this isn't going to be the relationship I'm going to end up in. I knew it. In that moment, I knew it. And it was probably about 2 weeks later when I fully was like, yep, that's done, that's not right for me. And the moment I fully did that and was like, that's done, that moment, right, that day, within hours, and I said to people I know, that is done, I'm walking away from that. Why? Because I'm choosing to have more. I'm choosing to be with someone who loves me, who adores me, who respects me, who wants to be with me. I'm choosing that. I said, because in that moment, I was kind of getting out of my lane because someone was saying, don't you want this instead? And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm staying in my lane. I'm staying focused on what I'm creating. I'm having what I want. That is it. I did that, and Ben and I were kissing within hours. Right? And it's because, and the thing is, the big point here, say it, I can't see all the comments, this is driving me crazy. The reason that happened, the reason I created the love that I wanted so freaking quickly was commitment to staying in my own lane. It was not looking around and saying, well, what's possible, or what's someone giving me, or what can I expect based on what they're giving? But it was, this is what I'm having, this is what I'm creating, this is what I want, this is what I'm holding space for, and this is what I believe I can have, because I deserve it. If you're in that space in any area in your life, you will create what you want, and you'll create what you want very, very quickly. Hey, gorgeous Samantha. You will create what you want very, very, very quickly. Because frankly, I think so many of you need to hear this right now. For you to have what you want, only you need to be in alignment with it, focused on it, and activating that energy. Only you. Because this is the thing, and I feel like so many people need to hear this. If you're trying to attract and love, and you're in alignment, you're like, I feel so good, I know it's coming, I know what I want's coming in, okay? If you're in that energy of that, and men that you've been dating, or even your current relationship starts to fall away and starts to move out of your experience, what women often do is go, oh, I'm doing this wrong. How do I get this person here? So instead of staying in their own lane, instead of doing their own stuff and doing all their own work, as soon as something outside them starts to break down or wobble, they go to fix it, thinking, oh, well, I'm clearly doing it wrong, loving myself and valuing myself and knowing what I want. Let me go and fix this. When actually, the reason that was breaking down is because it wasn't in alignment with what you're actually creating. Your lane is always, always taking you where you want to go. Right? You focusing on what you want, you knowing you can have it, you believing in yourself, you loving yourself is always, always, always taking you where you want to go. If other things are falling out of the way, if other relationships are breaking down, if people are moving away, it's not because your lane's the wrong move. It's not because being you is wrong. It's not because you're wrong or you're not good enough. If other things are breaking away, it's because those things aren't in alignment with you being who you are. Aren't in alignment with you being who you are. There's like so many women have come to me and they've been like, I want to attract this guy. I want him to be in my life. I want him to be my partner. And we get their lane going and they're going full force down their lane. Very quickly, these guys actually come in and go, how you going? How you going? And this person doesn't even care anymore about that. Or some of these men just completely go away and never come back into their lives again. And suddenly they go, oh, why has he gone away? And I go, because he's not a match to you loving you. From our human perspective, we often think we are going to be successful when that particular person loves us, or we're going to be successful when that person becomes my client, or we're going to be successful when we control how it works. But I promise you, what the universe has in store for you, the love that you want, the relationship of your dreams, the business that's so freaking successful, it's all unfolding and it's all going to work out for you. But if you spend your time looking at what's in your reality, if you say, well, what's happening? Like, what do I see? How can I control this? You're going to be on the wrong track, right? Because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to control things and make things happen that were never meant to be in your life. It's like if I look back, oh my goodness, if I look back over the years at all the men I dated, and now I look back and said, oh my God, imagine. I tried so hard to be with them. I tried so hard to get them to want me. Imagine if one of those guys, if it had worked. Imagine if me trying really hard had worked. Now I just go, oh my gosh, facepalm. Imagine if one of them were my partner. That just makes me go, oh my goodness. It's like I think back to my first partner, right? We were together like 4 years and now he's married with a child. Like, it's fantastic. But I look back and say, oh my goodness, imagine if that didn't fall apart. Imagine, I would be married to him. That terrifies me more than anything. You know, when things fall apart, it is falling apart for you. Stay in your lane. Stay focused on what you want to create. Stay doing your own work to line up with what you want. The universe is always going to reflect you. If things are falling away, if things are moving out, it's not because you're getting it wrong. It's not because you're not good enough. It's not because you're not worthy. It's because you're making space for what's in alignment. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? The people who were willing to be in alignment with their vision, to hold space for their vision, and to go after their vision, to know they can have their vision, regardless of what's going on, will get what you want very, very, very quickly. Very, very, very quickly. Because really, our commitment has got to be to what's truly right for us, rather than to our ego, right? Because what we want to do, we're sitting back here, we're kind of looking around, and what we like to do is go, well, I want these 3 men that I know to fall madly in love with me. Because if those 3 men really liked me, then I'd be good enough. And what we're actually doing is we're giving someone else our responsibility, right? We're saying, if that happened, then I'm going to love myself. Rather than saying, I know I want the relationship that I desire. So instead of looking outside and thinking, how can I get someone? How can I force someone? How can I manipulate someone? How can I convince someone to be the right person for me? Instead of doing that, I'm going to stop looking outside. I'm going to stop going into other people's lanes and trying to make shit happen. I'm going to come back to be firmly planted in my lane, and I'm going to ask myself, what do I want? What do I want? What relationship do I want? Which bits of me don't believe that relationship's possible? What doubts do I have? What worries do I have? Right? That is what it looks like to be in your own lane. To keep your eyes on your vision and to remove your own resistance to having what you want. Because right now, what you're trying to create is going to come into your life so wonderfully. It is going to blow your freaking mind with how amazing and beautiful and fantastic it is. It is just going to absolutely knock you off your feet with how great it is. It's going to be incredible. But if you sit back right here and now, not a match to what you want, trying to control things, thinking, well, it's kind of like what I often see business owners doing is they're trying to speak to the person in front of them, and it's not the person they actually want to work with. Right? So what they're saying is, I've got this $20 product, please come and buy it, because please, I really want to help you, please, I just want to have a sale, please show me that I can make some money, please. And when I talk to someone like that, they go, I don't actually really want to work with these people. They're not really going to value my work, they're not going to show up and do it, but I don't really know if I'm going to be successful. So instead of focusing on my vision, instead of focusing on what I want to create, I'm just going to look at what everyone else is asking or what they're willing to pay, and I'm going to create an offer based on them. And then I say, did that work? And they go, no. Why didn't it work? And I'm like, because your lane, how you want to be successful, what you want to create, what you want to sell, who you want to work with, is not the stuff around you. When we look around and we respond to life, we're fully out of our lane. We're fully out of our lane. When we're fully in our lane, creating what we want to create, saying, yes, I'm going to have this powerful business, I'm going to work with amazing people, I'm going to change their lives, and you create your own stuff from this space, your vision gets filled in. The universe gives you the right people, sends you the right inspiration. As soon as you abandon your lane, you abandon your truth, you abandon your vision, and you say, okay, well, what am I going to do now? You're running in circles. You're running in circles trying to adjust who you are for the world. Do you know how exhausting that is? Do you know how exhausting it is to try and be everything to everyone? It is so, so, so hard. It is so hard to get everyone to like you. It is so hard to win everyone's heart. It is so hard to get every man in the world to like you. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Right? So many people on the planet are not your people. Even right now, the man that you might, or the woman that you've told yourself, they're the person for me and we're meant to be together. Most of the time, it's actually not true. If right now, you within yourself can stop and say, I fully and utterly believe within me, I know for certain that I deserve amazing love, I deserve to have an amazing relationship, I deserve this so much, and you still want to be with that person, it might be the right person for you. But if right now, there's no way in hell that you believe that you deserve that, that person you think you want to be with probably is not going to be the person you want to be with, and you fully and utterly believe that. Cool. So what the thing is, so often it can be tempting to not listen to what I'm saying. It can be tempting to not stay in your lane. It can be tempting to just keep trying to control the world and keep trying to control other people and do the right things and get people to like you and get people to buy from you now. It can be so tempting, right? When we're in fear, when we don't believe we can have what we want, we date things that aren't right. We date men that aren't right for us. We do things we don't want to do. We sell things we don't want to do. But it's never, ever, 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 ever sustainable. It's never. That's when you date a man that's wrong and you end up breaking up a year down the track and you go over and over and over again. The same cycle. Who do I need to be for this one? Who do I need to be for this one? It's not sustainable. Or that's when you sell this $20 offer, this $20 offer, this $20 offer. And eventually you're just running around trying to make money and you're making these tiny wee bits of money. You're saying, why isn't it working? And it's not working because you're selling what you think people are going to buy. You're selling what you think people want rather than what you want. You are creating your reality. You can have every single thing that you want, but your focus needs to be on what you want to create. Your focus needs to be on what you want to offer the world, who you really are, and being authentic to you. If you have a strong sense of belief and worthiness, being who you are, your life will be amazing. If you run around trying to get others' approval, trying to get them to tell you you're good enough and you're worthy, being who you're not, you'll forever be running on this hamster wheel of unworthiness, trying to catch up. And it's just not worth it. Who you are is enough. Everything you are is good enough. Every part of you is enough. Everything you want, you can have. The business you want to create, you can have it. The people you want to work with, the money you want to charge, you can have it all. The man you want to be with, the woman you want to be with, how you want them to treat you, how you want to be together, you can have it. But you can't have it by manipulating what's around you. You can't have it by figuring out how to get it. If you're trying so hard to get it by changing who you are and changing yourself, you're not going to get it. The way to get what you want is to stay in your lane, to align with it, to remove the parts of it, the parts of yourself that doubt you can have that, and then it's yours. Everything is available for you right now. Right? It's not by manipulation. It's not by force. It's not by control. It's not by saying, well, I need to have that person or I need to have that client. It's you getting so clear on your own worthiness, believing it, lining up in your own lane, and everything that's a match to it will come. If you're lost out trying to control people, you can't have what you want. You can't. Trust me, I tried this for years. When I did my own lane, when I fully committed to it, my partner was there within hours. Every single time I'm fully committed to it in my lane in business, my business goes absolutely freaking crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is your work. Your lane is your work. I hope that made sense, guys. I hope it made sense. In case you haven't heard, I've got a few spaces open right now in my one-on-one program, my one-on-one love program, and my one-on-one business program. So if you want to hear more about that, if you want support to release your limiting beliefs, release your fears, get so freaking grounded in your lane so you can manifest what you want so quickly into your life, the stuff that's fully right for you, that's completely in alignment with who you are. How do you fully commit to it? Decide you're fully committed. Decide. Fully commit to it, hold space for it. But also, Samantha, look at the parts of you that don't want to do that, the parts of you that are resisting it, the parts of you that are doubting it, the parts of you don't feel worthy of it, and shift those beliefs. Because once the beliefs are on side, it's fully aligned. Yeah, but if you want my support to do that in my one-on-one program, please just send me a message. And Samantha's already one of my one-on-one clients, and that's what we're working on, babe. So, yeah, feel free to reach out, and we can talk more about that. But have a lovely day, guys. I've got to jump on a call with one of my beautiful clients, but I will talk to you all very soon. Bye, team.